This is it right here.
Combining a team of reporters, columnists, and commentators.
Don't you ever talk about me!
Are you serious?
Jack Ebling has brought thought-provoking discussion.
What are you doing?
That's a damn coaching mistake.
Opinion.
The customer is the one who decides when the future gets here.
Oh, no!
The ship is on fire!
You have to check the report.
Are you kidding me?
That game was fixed.
And overall infotainment.
I'll take Jim Harbaugh.
What has he done?
Crazy cootie coming at you.
Quiet, please. In exactly 15 seconds, we'll be on the air.
Thanks, big fella.
Don't you ever come back here again.
No arguments. Those are called ass tunes.
So buckle up.
You talking to me?
It's time for The Drive with Jack Ebling.
Yeah, for some reason or another, you sound a little taller on radio.
Great afternoon, Mid-Michigan and beyond, and welcome to The Drive with Jack, the Spotlight Radio Network. Jack Ebling here with my producer, Boston Rob, in studio today. Beautiful Spotlight facilities, 105 West Allegan, 40 degrees, sunny. Could be a lot worse, Rob. Could be a lot worse. Headed to Chicago bright and early in the morning for the Big Ten tournament. Now is going so long. It is 6 days from Tuesday through Sunday. And right now they are in Game 8. Wisconsin with the lead over Washington. A couple of games tonight. Michigan State, a lot of interest in the UCLA-Rutgers game. And actually, Michigan State played a lot better against UCLA than it did in either game against Rutgers. Probably fortunate to win one or both of those games against the Scarlet Knights, and blew UCLA away by 23 points, actually led by 31 late in that game. We have a big show planned for you. We're going to be talking a lot of tournament basketball and more. I want to go right out to our guest line and welcome in Tony Garcia of the Detroit Free Press. Tony, are you in Chicago as we speak?
I'm approaching Chicago. I'm passing Gary right now.
Oh, yeah.
So got a little under an hour to go. A little bit of backup on the highway, but we're making it down there.
Keep your window rolled up as you pass Gary. I would strongly suggest that.
That's right.
Yeah. Will you see any games this evening, or don't you care about that? The first game you'll see will be Michigan tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm not sure any of them are quite appealing enough to head over there. I guess maybe that's a little bit of a spoiled outlook because, just as a hoops lover, I always like to watch basketball, but I might just take in some of the city a little bit, get some dinner, watch the games on TV, of course, but I think tomorrow at 11 a.m. Central for round 3 of Michigan-Ohio State will probably be my first game at United Center.
So what do you make of this challenge for the Wolverines? Obviously, outright Big Ten regular season champs. Did not lose a conference road game. What do you make of their tests en route to Sunday, and how much does Michigan care?
Yeah, that's sort of the discussion this weekend. I'd say they care a good deal. They're kind of in a win-win situation right now, I'd say, whereas if they don't win, it's okay because they've got the main title under their belt, but I don't think they're going to hold anything back. They're not going to only play Elliot Cadeau 26 minutes and say, oh, well, if we can win without him, we'll do it. I don't think they want to push and play Yaxel 38 minutes or something in a game.
Yeah.
But, I think they're just so talented. I think they're going to find themselves in every game, and then that's when the competitive side of you comes out. And, Nimari Burnett posted on social media the other day a picture of him cutting down the nets and holding the trophy and doing things, and the caption was one of 3 with a trophy underneath it. So the implication is they want this Big Ten tournament title before doing their best to win March Madness.
They will be facing the Ohio State Buckeyes, right? OSU, a win today over Iowa. Did that surprise you, and who would Michigan rather face?
Yeah, it surprised me a little bit. I probably would have taken Iowa, but that's a coin flip game.
Yeah.
And also, I don't know the motivations of Iowa or Ohio State, but they're both loosely but firmly in the tournament, certainly with the way the bubble's gone down the last week. And I don't think losing that game for either team would have been the worst idea if you're trying to get on that 10 line and avoid that 8-9 line. I don't know that was Iowa's thinking. But, I mean, I probably would have liked Iowa in that game, just all things being equal. But Ohio State is certainly a better matchup for Michigan. I mean, we saw it. Yes, it was senior day. It was on the road. And so the Hawkeyes had some juice at Carver Hawkeye Arena, I guess just 1 week ago today. But, they were more physical than Michigan expected them to be, pushed them off their spots pretty frequently. Yeah. Michigan was very sloppy with 18 turnovers. And they just rolled Ohio State on the road, and they pulled away with a 24-12 run down the stretch in the home game after it was tied at 50 at Chrysler. So neither game was nearly as sweaty as it was where they needed a bucket in the last minute to survive Iowa. So that definitely would have been the preferred outcome.
I don't know if I'm remembering this correctly, Tony, but did Michigan trail Ohio State by 9 at home early in the second half?
No,
I thought they were 9 down with about 16 to go.
Now they're all blending together. I don't know if it was 9. I think it was maybe 5 or 6. I remember them being down 9. They were down 9 against Maryland early. They were down 16 against Northwestern. I don't remember it getting up to 9 against Ohio State. I've been wrong before, and I'll be wrong again. And you are the encyclopedia who I do not like to question. But I don't think that one was 9. My gut tells me it was 5 to 7. But they were trailing by a couple possessions early in the second half, as I recall.
Okay. Well, we can check that. In terms of this Michigan team now looking ahead, and it's hard not to look ahead at this point for a team that's done what Michigan has done. Again, we're talking about 29-2. 19-1 in Big Ten play. No other Big Ten team has won 10 conference road games. Of course, schedule is deeper now, and few teams have had a chance to play 10 conference road games. But when you look at where Michigan is as a guaranteed 1 seed in the Midwest, we know that. Do we know yet whether they're going to be in Philadelphia as they want or in Buffalo? I'm seeing different things.
No, that is not yet known. So it is true that Michigan there was an early report, when Michigan was playing against Duke in late February. A report came out that day or that weekend that they had requested Philadelphia. That was not the case at the time. They had not officially requested it, and
they have since
fully made up their minds.
Yeah.
They have since put it in, and but one of the main reasons is because, as Dusty was explaining, that's the Friday, Sunday, and Buffalo is Thursday, Saturday. And so as much as probably a larger Michigan contingent in Philadelphia than you would expect in Buffalo, but it's really more about they expect to be playing late into this Big Ten tournament. And just last year, although they survived the first weekend, it was not easy playing until 6 p.m. Eastern time Sunday night and then need to fly out to Denver to get ready for a Thursday afternoon game at altitude. And now that wouldn't be the case this year, but they just want as much break as they could have. But the only way they're going to get Philly is if Duke loses early in the ACC tournament, and they'd probably have to make it all the way to the title game. I don't know about winning it. I mean, the bracket's already decided by the time that championship game is being played. But they'd at least need to make it there because Duke is the number 1 overall seed currently, and they would get to pick, and they will pick Greenville. And then after that, it's just based on geographic proximity, and Buffalo is closer than Philly, so they will be placed in Buffalo. But if they are able to leapfrog Duke, then they'll get to pick Philadelphia.
So it's only the 1-1, the overall number 1 that gets a preference?
That's my understanding, and that's Dusty's understanding when he and I were speaking on Monday. So,
why wouldn't the number 2 get a preference if it doesn't much matter to the rest of them? Wouldn't they? I guess not, huh?
I wondered the same. I figured why wouldn't you get to I would have thought that maybe all the 1 seeds would get to would at least get to say where their preference is, and if they could slot them there, slot them there.
Yeah.
I'm not. I have enough things that I'm paid to do and figure out. Trying to understand the logistics of the NCAA tournament committee is just a bridge too far. I think it's a worthwhile question, and I was curious too, but I don't have the answer as to why that would be the case.
Okay. All right. Well, and so much of what happens in the tournament, this is the reason that I think the conference regular season championship is so meaningful, Tony, more than the conference tournament, certainly, but in many ways, a better indication of who you are than even the NCAA tournament, because it's a 6-game deal. I know it's exciting. I know what the stakes are. I know that that's what everyone cares most about. But, you get a call, you get a ref, you get a sprained ankle, and right now for Michigan's loss of L.J. Kaysen, and we can't minimize his impact on the team, Duke now has lost 2 starters, and I don't think Duke is going to be anywhere close to the team that Michigan State and Michigan saw.
I think that's right. And honestly, I think Vegas will respond to that more than the seeding committee, because yes, they do seem to factor in your health and the team you're going in with. However, when you put up the body of work that Duke has, specifically with the head-to-head over Michigan, it's just hard to move them off the line and say, well, we don't know when these guys will be back, right? And theoretically, they have 2 weeks to figure this out, because it's going to be 2 Thursdays from now when they're playing in the Sweet 16. Like, if you're in a 1-16 game, Duke will win that game, even probably without all their starters. And then an 8-9 matchup, you figure they can make their way back, and is one of them back or both of them back? Do they try to gut it out? And so you don't really want to punish a team unless it's like a North Carolina Caleb Wilson situation where it's like your best player is out for sure for this tournament. And if you've shown a little bit of like some warts, so to speak, without him, then there's reason to maybe, if you're splitting a couple seed lines, drop you to the lower one. But right. No, I don't think this is going to be the same Duke team. And I think Michigan is going to be the proverbial favorite across the nation. Not like it's been this past week where they and Duke are really on the exact same tier.
So is there a team you think Michigan would not want to play in the NCAA tournament? I'm not saying they're scared of anybody. They're not. But is there a team that they would rather avoid if they could?
I think Arizona is probably the one. They're built very similarly to Michigan. They've got depth, they've got size, they've got physicality. They don't need any one player to really be on. Like, I'd say even less than Duke does, right? Like, if you get a bad game from Cameron Boozer, they're fighting an uphill battle. I don't think there's any one player for Arizona where if he is not at his best or picks up a couple quick fouls, they have a couple knobs they can turn in a few different iterations of the lineup they can put together to still survive. So I think that would be probably the biggest test.
Yeah, the team I think is playing the best in the country right now is Florida. Watch them quite a bit, and that's the team I would want to stay away from. But
yeah, no, I would throw them in that group as well, without question.
Yeah. What did you learn about this Michigan team down the stretch at Iowa and in the game against Michigan State? Again, they were challenged. Spartans led by 4. 61-57, I believe. It was close until the last couple of minutes, and then Michigan pulled away. What did you learn about the Wolverines Sunday?
Yeah, I would say what I did learn was on Sunday, and it was just that, I I guess it was reinforced, but it was also learned because there was no L.J. Kaysen to pick this up. I mean, that was one of Elliot Cadeau's worst games of the year against Michigan State. And you didn't have L.J. Kaysen. And you'd figure, and Morez Johnson was in foul trouble, and Adai Mara was in foul trouble in the first half. and they're playing a really good Michigan State team. And so you'd figured all of that together is kind of a recipe for disaster. And yet, not only is Jackson Lendeborg cementing himself as the Big Ten Player of the Year on that day, but the way, Trey McKinney this guy is not a freshman. He's just not. Yes, technically he is, but he doesn't play like one in any way.
Right.
And Roddy Gale Jr., the way he came on in March last year, and then in this March so far, he had a block and a steal in the final 30 seconds against Iowa to seal that win. And then he scored 15 against Michigan State. Very efficient, very aggressive. I think individually for Roddy, the LJ injury, while it's not something anybody wants, he's probably the main beneficiary. If I learned anything this past week, it's because he kind of felt like a square peg going into a round hole this whole year. Because last year when he came in with the second unit, he had a clear directive to be the scorer, to be the facilitator, to be the guy who leads that second unit. But this year, when they had McKinney and when they had Kaysen, he was sort of doing what he had done last year, which is sort of falling back and trying to fit into a role with other guys. But now with no Kaysen, they need him to score and to be aggressive, not put your head down Roddy Gale aggressive when he can go too far with it, but appropriately aggressive and know that he has the green light to create for this team. And he really had a wonderful game against Michigan State. That was certainly his best offensive game in 2 months.
Yeah.
And so the fact that Michigan could overcome all those things against a great team, it's just another feather in the cap and another reason to believe that this team is every bit as for real as any team could be.
Well, you just used the word great. Do you really believe Michigan State is a great team or a very good team? Or if Michigan and Michigan State played a best of 7, Tony, NBA-style series, would Michigan sweep it? Would it go 5 games, 6 games, 7 games? Michigan would win, but what would happen?
Yeah, gentleman's sweep, probably 4-1. Maybe it could go 6. State could grab a couple of the home games. And they showed that they can hang with them, but it's just getting over the hump when you don't have as much depth. Right. And I thought State played pretty well in that game Sunday. You got big games from Fears, from Kohler, from Cooper. Yeah. Who was it? I guess they got a couple buckets from Tango. It was Jordan Scott who really sort of let them down.
Yeah, he won for
that's
7.
A big ask for a freshman, but you need him to make shots. And great might be a stretch too far. That's a very good team. Yeah. That is a 2 seed in a year where it's pretty good top of the country. Worst case scenario, they're going to be the best 3 seed in the bracket. So maybe the 1 seeds are great. Maybe the 2s are very, very good, and the 3s and 4s are quite good teams. It's not easy to get to that level. So great might have been half a step too far. That's a very good team.
All right, fair enough. I look at what Trey McKinney did, and frankly, he surprised me because I saw him a bunch last year, right? And I said, he's a good player. He's a good prospect. He wasn't in the kind of shape he's in now. He wasn't as focused all the time as he is now. So he has improved exponentially from what I thought he would get. And he's not a starter, Jordan Scott is, but McKinney outscored Jordan Scott and Cam Ward, who had played very well for 2 or 3 games, 12-2. That is 10 points in a 10-point game. And I thought Michigan State played pretty well, not great, did some really dumb things. Jeremy Fears had a flagrant one, and also there was that a technical? Maybe that was just a technical. And then had missed the front end of a 1-and-1 when it was a 5-point game down the stretch. But I thought Cooper and Kohler played well. Problem was Michigan State didn't shoot well. Only turned it over 7 times and had more offensive rebounds than Michigan did. But when Michigan is shooting that way, Tony, I don't think there's a team in the country that can beat them. And I don't remember watching Michigan this year shoot 26 for 29 at the line. Have they done that before?
Yeah, no, that was their best game from the free throw line this year. Certainly, I mean, overall in the aggregate, maybe they had another 90% game, but it was like a 12 of 13 or a 13 of 15 type situation.
Yeah.
No, they were nails from the line, and I agree with the overall assessment. I mean, Michigan's best is better than anybody else's best.
Yeah.
And part of the reason that Michigan State didn't shoot well is because they were playing against the team that's number 2 Ken Pom in defensive rating and top either number 1 or number 2. I don't know where they stand right now in 2-point defense, and they're also top 10 in 3-point defense. I mean, they just they take away everything. I mean, everything they try to do, which is get in the paint and then catch and shoot threes or in out threes.
Yeah.
That's what they emphasize taking away, and they try to force you into the middle. And I think State did a pretty good job of not settling for mid-range twos. To me, it was the stretch where Izzo tried to steal 90 seconds. And I know Denim Wojcik gets a bad rap, and he's not always the problem. But it was 61-57.
Yeah.
State subbed out Fears. They tried to just get to the under 8 timeouts.
Yeah.
And Michigan rips off an 11-0 run. Now, only 4 of those came before Fears came back in.
Yeah.
But it was a couple turnovers, it was a couple buckets, and then Michigan had the ball back. And then by the time State had the ball back with Fears in, they were down, missed 1 bucket. Then I think that's when McKinney hit the big 3 in front of the Michigan bench to go up 5. And then they hit 1 more before Michigan State could stop the bleeding. I mean, it happens just that fast against this team.
Yeah, and in Wojcik's a couple of appearances, this is funny because I couldn't believe it after the game when I looked at the stat sheet. He had the best plus-minus on the Michigan State team. Now, a plus-minus can be highly misleading, right? It's like the second assist on a hockey goal. But to me, I couldn't believe it because it didn't jive with what my eyes told me. But I've seen Yaks a lot. I've watched him extensively. Not as much as you have, obviously, but I don't remember him being a 100% free throw shooter or shooting 83.3% from deep. In fact, I think he's a low 30s three-point shooter, right? So he played a fantastic game.
Yeah, no, he's 34% on the year and career high 5 threes, but also, and I mean, that's certainly not the norm, but that's what Big Ten Players of the Year do, right? Maybe not to that extent, but you show up when the lights are brightest, and he had 26 and 12 against State and East Lansing. He dropped 27 on this night, and he was aggressive. I mean, I think some of these things are more narrative-based and can be overblown, but, I mean, it is like, yes, he's only been around 1 year, but it is his senior day. His mom is in town, his girlfriend's in town, and it's and the game necessitated it with Morez and Mara being out. Yeah, they needed him to take over. And
he was big against Michigan State and East Lansing too. He was terrific. In that game in Breslin.
2 of his best games. I'd say those are 2 of his 3 best games of the entire year.
So you mentioned Player of the Year, and I don't think anyone is disputing that he is the best player in the Big Ten. You could argue whether he's the most valuable player in the Big Ten, but not the best player. I noticed for Coach of the Year, there was a split. And the media picked Dusty May. You certainly can see why they would. And the coaches picked Fred Hoiberg, and in Nebraska was picked to finish 11th, I guess. I've seen 10th, I've seen 13th, but generally right around 11, and they're the 2 seed. Do you think that's a fair way to do it? And do you think the coaches came into this saying, we're not voting for Dusty May?
Yeah, I mean, that dialogue and discourse has definitely run rampant over the last couple days. And I don't know if I can speak for the rest of the coaches. I understand the optics of it. Yeah. But sometimes I think that there are 2 very deserving options. I think Dusty May leading a historic year is worthwhile, and I think the overachieving that Fred Hoiberg did is worthwhile. Could it be because of the rumors and the this and the that and sort of the nature of the relationships within the coaching fraternity? I suppose that's possible. But is it also possible that coaches understand just how hard it is to earn a triple bye, the newly found triple bye, in the Big Ten tournament, and to do something that's never been done at Nebraska, position yourself for a win 15 games in the Big Ten, and thinking that is deserving. I think that's possible. I don't know if I saw that it was unanimous among the coaches, right? Like maybe it was 10-8. Then so he wins it. I don't know. And so I think both things are quite possible.
Yeah, I agree. I think that two deserving guys, probably a good idea that it was split, maybe a fair idea. I know some media people who voted for Fred, not many, and I'm sure there are coaches who voted for Dusty, so obviously not a majority. But when you look at the Big Ten this year, Tony, is it the best conference, or is the Big 12 the best conference?
Can I answer that in April?
No. Yeah, you can, but I'd like an answer now too.
Yes. No, but I guess right now, and perhaps this is biased just from being front and center in the Big Ten for all these months, I'll say the Big Ten, but I would use as my evidence 5 of the top 12 KenPom teams come from that league, right? So even the advanced metrics like these teams a lot. It would be Michigan versus Arizona. It would be Michigan State versus Houston, then Nebraska versus Iowa State.
Yep.
I think the Big 12 might get 2 of those 3 matchups. I think Michigan would beat Arizona, but I think Houston might beat Michigan State, and Iowa State would get Nebraska. But then as a 4 seed, you got Illinois. That's deep. Purdue is the 7, right?
Yes.
So
yes.
I think the best team of the bunch is Michigan. And then I think if you're going 7 deep in the leagues, and you are like the top half of the league roughly, or top third half, 40%, Purdue is better than whatever the Big 12 7th best team is. What, maybe TCU? I don't know. And so I will go with the Big Ten right now, despite their quarter-century drought in March Madness.
Michigan played TCU, right?
They did. That was their last game. They barely won. It was in Fort Worth. They were down like 5 or 6 in the second half, and they pulled off like a 11-2 run or something. They won 67-63. And then the next week, they went to Vegas and then just tore the country apart after that.
Right.
So that one I would chalk up to, it doesn't feel like it anymore at this time, but this is a new roster that they were putting together, right? And they did need to learn how for things to gel and put things together. And Dusty's been saying how they were talking about like when they were going to Vegas, they didn't know what was going to happen in Vegas, but he's like, look, we're about to turn a corner in a major way. I don't know if it's today, I don't know if it's next week or next month, but this is about to happen. And TCU was the last game before that happened.
Tony Garcia of the Detroit Free Press. Tony, we will see you at United Center tomorrow. Look forward to it.
All right. Thanks, Jack. See you there.
We will be right back, and we're going to talk with Mark Montgomery of Detroit Mercy, former Spartan point guard and longtime assistant coach, now his second head coaching stint. And what a run with the Titans. 1 win away, 3 points from the NCAA tournament. Be right back on The Drive with Jack.
Jack Ebling here with my good friend Matt Sloan at Graph of Okemos. Some great product here in early 2026.
You got it, Jack. Here at Chevy, we have, backed by popular demand, the all-new Bolt, redesigned and back in full force for us. People are really excited about that vehicle. It did great for us in the past.
Great.
And then next door, the Nissan Sentra, completely redesigned for that model. Great fuel economy. It's going to be a hot seller for us.
Stop and see Matt and the gang at Graph of Okemos. They're making friends.
So, it's been a while since you've had your jewelry cleaned and inspected, right? Where will you go and who will you trust with your most valuable and treasured heirlooms? At Meadowar Jewelers' 4 locations in Lansing, Okemos, Jackson, and Portage, jewelry isn't just our job, it's our passion. Each and every piece entrusted in our care is thoroughly inspected by our trained staff against damage or normal wear. And we offer you, our customer, the highest level of quality on repairs and custom designs. Whether it's worn out prongs, channels, or shanks, it's all handled with incredible care. Meadowar Jewelers in Lansing, Okemos, Jackson, and Portage want to help you preserve your memories and offer you options on creating new ones. Come in today for the cleaning and inspection of your jewelry. We continue to work hard every day to earn your confidence and trust.
Dean Transportation is looking for compassionate people to join our team of school bus drivers and attendants. Visit deanjobs.com to see all openings. Dean Transportation provides paid training to obtain a commercial driver's license, increased starting pay, comprehensive benefits, and flexible schedules with no weekend shifts. No experience needed. Apply today at deanjobs.com and train for back-to-school season. That's DEAN jobs.com.
Amy here from One North Kitchen and Bar. Tuesdays are family fun night at One North. Kids under 12 eat free with the purchase of an adult entree. Bring the whole crew to One North in Lansing, Jackson, or now East Lansing. Good food, happy kids, and an easy win for the family every Tuesday.
Are you passionate about college sports? Foster Swift Sports Talk is your go-to podcast dedicated to addressing the hottest topics in college athletics, including recruiting practices, NIL, the trade portal, collectives, and revenue generation.
Join us as we bring you insights from student athletes, college head coaches, administrators, and other industry leaders as they share their experiences in this rapidly changing arena.
Our mission is to share information and help educate student athletes, parents, coaches, and other stakeholders with the knowledge, resources, and strategies they need to make informed decisions and maximize each college athlete's potential for long-term success. Check out our latest episode where we're joined by Alan True from 24/7 Sports to discuss Midwest recruiting. Like and subscribe to our YouTube and Facebook pages to watch all of our episodes, or you can give us a listen on any of your favorite podcasting platforms by simply searching Foster Swift Sports Talk. Until next time, I'm your host, Dave Russell.
And they couldn't prevent Jack from being happy.
Welcome back. It is the Drive with Jack Spotlight Radio Network. Jack Ebling here with my producer, Boston Rob. We are trying to reach Mark Montgomery. Talked with their athletic communications department just a little while ago and was told 4:30 would work perfectly. So I would hope that we will hear from him momentarily. Rob, now with an 18-team Big Ten, we have 17 games in the Big Ten tournament, and it's possible that a team would have to win 6 games to win the title. That's not going to happen, but it could.
It could. Hey, a 16's beat a 1 a couple of times. It took a while.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Never say never, right?
Exactly. So are you watching a lot of this quarterfinal basketball?
I'll just say I'm paying attention to it. Now, am I glued to the television? I will probably say no, but I am paying attention to it for obvious reasons.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right. You're watching hockey when you can.
When I can.
There were 3 games last night.
Yeah, so much for my bold prediction. Holy smokes. What do I know?
So how do you explain that? Michigan rolled Notre Dame, and Penn State really had its way, right?
One of the best games of the year for them, I dare say. From top to bottom, when you look at it, yeah. Yep. So,
and then Ohio State also won.
Yeah, Rico's pick.
Yeah.
Upset, quote-unquote upset pick.
Yeah,
got the job done. So now Michigan State will face Ohio State next weekend, or this weekend, excuse me. Or no, wait, next weekend. So, yeah, it'll be interesting. I know you sent a text to our group chat. Maybe a little longer overtime between these two teams. Who knows? Why don't
13 round. That's not enough. I mean, come on. You're barely getting warmed up.
Yeah.
I want to see 18 or 20, right?
Sure, why not?
Let's
break records. Let's break records, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
But, talent usually comes out and most certainly the teams that won had the most talent, had the better years. But in hockey, you never know. A little puck luck, as we always say. If you get a hot goaltender, could really save a game, pun intended, right? But most certainly the teams that were supposed to win won yesterday. I would dare say Wisconsin maybe the one upset, but yeah, I mean, status quo for the most part.
Wow. Well, we don't have the televisions in here because there have been some problems downtown, right? Is that the story?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. So we don't have the televisions on today, and as soon as I say that there's not going to be a team come out of nowhere, Washington now has rallied from 13 down and is in position to tie this game against Wisconsin with a couple of free throws. So Hannes Steinbach and company, and it isn't because Wisconsin wasn't playing well. I was listening to this game driving in.
Yeah.
And Boyd had 16 in the first half, and Blackwell had 13. So the Killer Bees had 29 before the break.
Right.
But Washington is snotty. They're not going to go away, and so
a totally different type of Wisconsin team. You've talked about it. About this team, about this team throughout the season here, but a totally different style of Wisconsin team that I know you remember, right?
Yeah.
And what I remember when I first started in this crazy business. So it's very interesting. A scoring team, they can score up into the 90s, which, if you get a hot scoring team like that, they can most certainly not only get some upsets, but most certainly make a big run. But right now, they're, like you said, Washington's kind of turned the tables on them. So this is what March is all about, right?
Right. That is the idea. It's one and done, and anything can happen. That's the beauty of it, and that's also the bane. If you are a favorite and you're supposed
Washington's
to win,
got nothing to lose.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
I mean, you know what I mean? So yeah, Wisconsin's going to be in the tournament. It'll be interesting to see if they pull out this win. I know I'm anxious to see. I should ask you, how many, depending on what happens here in the Big Ten tournament, but what are you thinking? 8, 9, maybe 10 teams in the NCAA tournament for the Big Ten as a whole?
I hope it's not more than 9.
Okay.
I don't like to see the 10th and 11th place team that's below 500 in a conference get in. I don't care. Miami lost today in the tournament. They have one loss for the season. Yep. I've watched Indiana enough to know that if the Hoosiers get in with 7 straight losses to Northwestern, then there are too many teams in this tournament. They shouldn't expand it from 68 to 76. They should shrink it. Because there are too many at-large. I can hear coaches right now saying, you know what? They need that for job security. They get bonuses. They don't get fired. They want everybody in so nobody gets in trouble with it, with the fan base. For the money that they're making, there should be some expectations that they can perform within their own conference. And if they can't finish in the top half of their conference, I guess you see it in the NBA. You can have teams that are below 500 get in the playoffs.
All the time.
But you know what it's about? It's all about money. Money. It's all it's about.
Yeah.
And so that they're going to find any way to get more revenue, and the same is true for the NCAA tournament. So, hey, you know what? High school has everybody in it. Maybe they should just do that.
I mean, there's always a debate whether a team should get in or shouldn't get in, whether it's 64, 32, 125, 500 teams. There's always going to be that one or two teams that everybody's going to bitch and moan.
And I have no sympathy for somebody who says, come on, we were 68th. No. If you're 68th, you don't belong in. Yeah. And so that's the way I'm looking at it.
Do you enjoy, you're a basketball junkie.
Yeah.
So I know the answer to this per se, but do you enjoy the quote unquote playing games in Ohio?
I've never been. Never been to Dayton I've been to Dayton for lots of NCAA tournament games, but not for the quote unquote playing games.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess if you're going to have more than 64, which seemed to be an ideal number, I said, well, we want to do this. We got more conferences, so you just take out 4 at-larges. This is a very soft bubble.
Yeah.
A lot of these teams that are going to get in don't belong in an NCAA tournament. NCAA tournament's supposed to be excellence. Excellence. Not, well, they're not bad.
You don't want a participation trophy.
That's right. And that's what it is. That's what it is. I mean, these teams are getting in. They have no shot. They can't win half their conference games. How are they going to win an NCAA championship? How are they going to make a Final Four? That's ludicrous. So, just my opinion. I was talking to Izzo this afternoon, actually. He is in Chicago. Team has practiced at a good practice here, and then got to Chicago, and they will practice tomorrow morning. They'll have because they have such a long day. They don't go until
there's a
9 o'clock.
Right? 9 o'clock?
Right, roughly 9 o'clock Eastern time, be 8 o'clock there. And they will practice tomorrow, more of a shoot-around kind of thing, at Illinois Chicago.
Okay.
Yeah. So, So we'll see. But I would be disappointed if Indiana got in, and I would be really disappointed if USC got in. They've only lost 8 in a row.
And Miami should be in.
Miami should be in. They lost one time.
One game.
I mean, I know their schedule wasn't daunting. I get it.
No.
I know they don't have quad 1 wins, but part of that is who's willing to play them.
That's exactly right.
And you still have to show up, and you still have to do it.
Someone.
I mean, there are a lot of teams that they're from major conferences. They can pee down their leg, and it doesn't seem to bother anybody. They can have a game or two where they lose. Miami played a lot of very close games
and
obviously
won those close games and just couldn't pull it out.
Isn't that the objective, to win?
Yes.
They did it 31 times.
Whether you win by 100 or win by 1, a win is a win.
Yeah.
Right?
You know who is also involved in this MAC tournament that I'm watching very closely is Bowling Green.
That's right.
Because BGSU, coached by Todd Simon and Tum Tum Nairn as assistant, is going to be the future home of KJ Torbert.
Yes.
Calvin Torbert Jr.
Yes.
And we're going to have Ray Mitchell, his coach, on in about a half hour. And I think it's great that he would be with us because he's got a game tomorrow, got a semifinal, and then a championship game to be back-to-back state champions. And I expect that from East Lansing. They have the best team in the state. That doesn't mean they're going to win, but I expect them to win tomorrow. They've shown me that much. And they had a fairly competitive game, closer than I expected, with Ann Arbor Pioneer, Don Johnson Fieldhouse, but I was told they had roughly twice as many people at the Don for that game as they had for the opening session in United Center.
I believe it.
Yeah.
I believe it.
You know what else we saw?
First father-son duo to win Mr. Basketball.
Yes.
Ever.
Yes,
and,
that's right. 25 years apart. Yeah.
Jim Keaton has a show here. Keys to the Jim Keaton Jr. guest. That's normal guest here.
Right.
But he also has his show, Keys to the City, and it was fun talking with him the other night about the differences between dad and son.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I know you've covered now both of them, so my question to you is what makes, I guess, Junior different from his dad?
Well, they're not built the same way,
right.
First of all.
Right.
KJ is slim and both explosive, but Calvin Torbert was a man when he was 15. I mean, he was built like a college player then, and just so powerful. He just physically dominated opponents. Not that he wasn't skilled, he was. He became the Big Ten's leading three-point shooter his senior year, which that was a real metamorphosis. But in high school, at the same level, they had similar results. KJ is on a better team than KT was.
Okay.
Flint Northwestern didn't get to the levels that East Lansing has. But, you got one guy who was recruited by everybody. I mean, Duke, North Carolina, Connecticut, Cincinnati, Michigan State. Those were his final 5. And KJ, a lot of people, how big is he? So they were hesitant, but, that's okay too. He's going to go. He's going to get great coaching. Yes. Going to be a situation where he can play. He's going to get minutes right away.
Let me ask you this: out of KJ, one skill set does he have to say, you know what? Obviously, coaching is a big deal of it.
Yeah.
But what skill set, if you had to choose one thing from him to say, okay, he's going to succeed at this level now, at the college level now?
Well, there are a lot of things that tell me that. He's very explosive, and his first step is great. He can get to the basket. He can finish.
Okay.
Now he can shoot reliably from the perimeter. It's not surprising to see him go off for 3, 4, 5, 6, even threes in a game. He's capable of doing that if you don't defend him. Very good defensive player.
So
his
very
dad was
good at
too.
a lot of things, but not great at like one thing. Is that fair?
Well, I think he's very advanced at a lot of things, no question. There's not one thing that stands out because usually when that happens, it's the other areas that are deficient.
Right.
Yeah. I think he's solid in every way, and I think there are going to be teams, Big Ten teams, that will say, you know what, we should have taken him. And now it has changed so much that that could happen at any point.
That could happen
Could happen next year. Could happen in 2 years. Could happen in whatever.
Yep.
I mean, we find guys who transfer after 4 years at one school or 5 years at one school, and they transfer.
Yeah, sure.
So, that is certainly a possibility. Who knows how that's going to play out for him, but I'm also very curious with Keyshawn Somerville, who is maybe KJ's best friend, certainly one of them. They are very close. Nearly went to school together at Waverly. Could you imagine that? If they had been the starting backcourt at Waverly? Oh, wow.
A lot of points.
Yeah. So, who knows? Who knows? Maybe there's been a lot of talk about Keyshawn going to a school in this state. And I know Oakland likes him, but who knows what the roster situation is going to be? Maybe they have to go in the portal and get guys. Who knows?
Sure.
It wouldn't shock me, okay? I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm not predicting this. I don't think the odds point toward it, but I wouldn't rule it out of Keyshawn Somerville winding up playing with KJ Torbert at Bowling Green, and he would be going in. He might have to redshirt a year. He's 160 pounds soaking wet.
Sure.
So that's a big difference.
Well, when we had him in here, a couple days ago? I mean, he did talk about gaining weight.
Right.
That was probably one of his biggest things that he wanted to work on.
Sure. He knows he looks in the mirror. He's 5'10".
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So there's going to be a physical situation to overcome, but he has done that his whole life to the point that he scored 1,973 points. One more game. If they had won one more game, he would have hit 2,000 points in his high school career. Now, there aren't many guys who can say they've done that. And he broke Denzel Valentine's Sexton's career scoring record. So, that says an awful lot. Zell was only the National Co-Player of the Year. So, I would say, if I were a coach, a college coach, I would take Keyshawn Somerville and develop him.
Sure.
Say, okay, in 2 years, you're going to be one hell of a college point guard because he's got the instincts, he can shoot it, he can score. But the best thing about him, and you saw it when he was here, he's the guy you want on your team.
Yeah,
he is selfless.
Leadership skills.
Even if he ran your scout team, you'd be better for it.
Yeah.
So, I don't mean to be his agent. I'm not. But
Sure?
I would think that there would be a lot of
really
teams.
good kid. Really good.
Yeah.
Mature. I agree with everything you're saying. It's funny that, again, I'm going to bring up Jim Keaton Jr.
Yeah.
We talked about just the state of high school boys basketball here now. And I know it has you know it better than anybody, the rich history of boys high school basketball around not only the state, but this area and how it's grown. And I'm wondering, how would you compare, and it's different eras, I get that, but how would you compare this current crop of guys over the last decade or so compared to maybe, the 80s, 90s? And again, I know it's different eras, so it's hard to compare that. But, it just, and Jim Keaton Jr. said that he would put up the talent coming out of this state as far as boys high school basketball against anybody in the country. Would you agree?
Can you rephrase that?
As far as
he said that he would put up Mid-Michigan.
Michigan talent as far as a Michigan high school basketball boys talent.
Are you talking about Mid-Michigan or the state of Michigan?
I believe the state of Michigan.
I would disagree with them strongly.
Okay.
The reason is there are fewer players in this state, and a lot of players have gone elsewhere. Some of them go and play in prep schools, not that they don't in other states too. But, for example, Flint. Flint used to be a bastion of high school basketball, right?
Sure, yep.
They had 4 big schools. Now there's 1.
Yeah.
So the population is not there in those urban areas. Not to say it's bad basketball. It's not. And you look at East Lansing. East Lansing could hang.
Yeah.
But there aren't as many teams.
Talent-wise, though, would you?
Well, I don't know. You'd have to see them on the court.
Yeah.
Would you compare them to a team in Texas or California or New York? You don't know until they play.
Yeah.
It's hard to evaluate that. But I would say for what used to be, yes. Yes, I would say that back when Keaton played, definitely.
Okay.
But the last 5 to 10 years, no, not as much. Not as much. I think it's fallen off. And again, some people come back at me and they may disagree. That's okay.
That's okay.
But I would say that high school basketball.
Is it just a numbers thing, or is it because more kids are going to football or other sports?
No, I don't think more kids are going to football. There is more specialization.
Is there more specialization? Yeah. That was my Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know. One thing I found very interesting yesterday, Rob, and this has never happened before. There were 4 games on day 2 of the Big Ten tournament, right?
Yeah.
The team that led at halftime in all 4 of those games lost. So you want to be behind at the half, is what, right?
Well, I don't know if you want to call it a trend. It's certainly 4 games, and that's what's happened, but I think that might change a little bit as we move forward here in the Big Ten tournament.
Yeah.
I think we might see a little bit of a shift.
Well, if Washington comes back and finishes the job, I didn't see the score of the last few seconds here, but that would be another case where they were down 10 at the half.
Wisconsin won 85-82.
85-82. Okay. Yep. All right.
Yep.
So Washington played exceptionally well, but not
a
quite
full game.
Well enough. And this Wisconsin team, we were talking with Tony Garcia about the job that Fred Hoiberg has done, being the coach's choice as Coach of the Year. How about the job that Greg Gard has
Most
done?
underrated coach in the Big Ten, maybe?
Yeah, and half the people in the league can't identify the Wisconsin coach.
Yeah.
I don't know who it is.
That's what I mean. Yeah, I mean.
Say, wait, no, it's not Bo Ryan. Well, who's the guy who took over for Bo Ryan? They can't remember him. They remember him in the greeting line with Juwan Howard.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
That's about it. He's got that kind of personality,
Yep.
He's kind of a blender.
Yeah.
But he's a good coach. And
he's
I
not
give
doing
him
it, and he's not doing it with 5-star guys, All-American guys, right? I mean, sure, he's got some talent in there, right? You need to have the talent, but he's kind of molding these guys, right?
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Well, we were hoping to get Mark Montgomery here.
Well, instead you got Boston Rob. Sorry about that, everybody.
Yeah.
It's quite the pivot.
Not quite the same point guard skill set, but yeah.
No.
Although you are kind of the point guard for this show.
Yeah.
Right?
You're too kind.
Yeah.
You're too kind.
I mean, you're spreading the ball around, right?
I'm trying, man. I'm trying.
Pushing all the buttons.
Yeah, pushing all the buttons. Yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
Good old button pusher, Rob. That's it.
Yeah.
No. Hopefully we'll get him. What a story, like you said, for Coach and Detroit Mercy, and that's a great story to most certainly. Hopefully we'll get him on maybe in the off season to talk about it for sure.
We will definitely rebook Monty. I imagine he has 1 million people pulling at him. Let me just review what he did here very quickly, okay?
Yes.
When he took the job, Detroit Mercy was a one-win team. Not one win in the conference. One win for the season. They nearly went 0, right? And so they hire Monty from Michigan State. And he comes in there, and last year there's an improvement. They go up to 8. This year they have a winning season, right? Yeah. Eastern, Western, and Central were all 10-21.
How crazy is that?
The regular season, right? 10-21, all 3 of them.
All 3 of them.
So, here's Detroit with the better overall record than Oakland. They didn't play the same schedule that Oakland did. Oakland plays this murderer's row non-conference schedule, but finished with the same record in conference. And they start winning in the tournament. They get to the conference championship game Tuesday night. Now, this is to get into the NCAA tournament. They're playing for a bid in the NCAA tournament 2 years after being a one-win team, and they lead in the second half, gets away, they lose by 3, and they have a shot to tie at the end of the game. Could have taken it into overtime. So congratulations to Mark Montgomery and the staff and the players. Now, he loses a bunch of players. He's got a bunch of seniors. So he's going to be starting over. He's going to be in the portal and recruiting hard in Detroit. That's a lot easier to do when you were 17-15 and close to being in the NCAA tournament than when you have one win and you're just saying, hey, we're going to do this. We did this. That's an easier situation. All right. We're going to go to break, and when we get back, I do believe Mike Pearson is going to join us. And he's been in athletic communications, used to call it sports information, forever. Is a historian for the Big Ten, for Michigan State. Maybe you've seen Spartafacts. All the things that he did for Michigan State athletics, chronicling it, and also at his other stops, including the University of Illinois. And spent a while with the Big Ten doing notes. He used to prepare all the post-game notes at the Big Ten tournament until recently. So that shows the wealth of knowledge that Mike has. And also, he was here. He certainly understands what Scott Skiles and Sean Respert and all the figures. He has some great posts about what they have done historically. Be right back with Mike. Coming up next, with Jack.
Dean Transportation is looking for compassionate people to join our team of school bus drivers and attendants. Visit deanjobs.com to see all openings. Dean Transportation provides paid training to obtain a commercial driver's license, increased starting pay, comprehensive benefits, and flexible schedules with no weekend shifts. No experience needed. Apply today at deanjobs.com and train for back to school season. That's DEAN jobs.com.
Hey Jack, I'm looking for a lunch deal that actually scores.
One North Kitchen and Bar has a 2 for $12 lunch combo, right, Jeremy?
Absolutely. We can mix and match half sandwiches, salads, soups, or classics like cheese quesadillas and personal pizzas. Weekdays 11 to 2 and Saturdays from 10 to 2.
One North.
Easy win.
So, it's been a while since you've had your jewelry cleaned and inspected, right? Where will you go and who will you trust with your most valuable and treasured heirlooms? At Meadowar Jewelers' 4 locations in Lansing, Okemos, Jackson, and Portage, jewelry isn't just our job, it's our passion. Each and every piece entrusted in our care is thoroughly inspected by our trained staff against damage or normal wear. And we offer you, our customer, the highest level of quality on repairs and custom designs. Whether it's worn out prongs, channels, or shanks, it's all handled with incredible care. Meadowar Jewelers in Lansing, Okemos, Jackson, and Portage want to help you preserve your memories and offer you options on creating new ones. Come in today for the cleaning and inspection of your jewelry. We continue to work hard every day to earn your confidence and trust.
Jack Ebling here with my good friend Matt Sloan at Graf of Okemos. Great time to get a great vehicle.
Fantastic time, Jack. 0% financing is back. Hard to believe this time right now we can get a vehicle with 0 interest.
Wow.
And if you're looking to pay cash, how about rebates up to $10,000? That's unheard of lately, right? $10,000 off on a vehicle. How about leasing? You want to lease? You can lease a vehicle right now in the low threes. Come on out and take a look.
You're talking everyone's language. Stop and see Matt and the gang. They're making friends.
Welcome back. It is the Drive with Jack Spotlight Radio Network. Jack Ebling here with my producer, Boston Rob. Rob, want to welcome in a guy I've known for forever and beyond. Mike Pearson did some great work here at Michigan State and everywhere else he has been, including University of Illinois, Miami, Ohio. We'll talk about that in just a minute. And also in the book publishing.
I was hoping you weren't going to bring up Miami today.
Well, I've been banging the drum for the Red Hawks here all season. So when I see Bruce Pearl in the NCAA tournament, he's going to get a piece of my mind. Because Auburn doesn't belong in the NCAA tournament and Miami does.
Well, I would hope so. At 31-1, you would hope that there are some intelligent minds in that committee room.
Yeah, and I was just saying that if Indiana gets into the tournament after 7 straight losses to Northwestern, then there are too many teams in the tournament.
How about that? That was embarrassing.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought Northwestern would win, but not to that degree.
No.
So there. Of course, Indiana's a football school.
Oh yeah,
now,
right.
So you understand that it's secondary program, but that was very surprising. Been a lot of surprising results thus far.
Yeah. Before we get off of Northwestern and Indiana, and the 7 straight wins, Nick Martinelli won his entire career without losing to the Hoosiers. You know what Bob Knight's record was against the Wildcats?
No, but I'm going to guess it's pretty lopsided.
50-3.
Oh, wow.
50-3.
No.
So Nick Martinelli had more than twice as many wins against Indiana as 29 years of Northwestern teams did against Bob Knight. Just saying.
I can't believe, I would, in the series, I can't believe that Northwestern would have more than 10 total victories before this stretch.
Right.
So what they did was amazing, and I think it's great. I love that. I love Collins, and I love Martinelli, and I wish them all the best. And they don't give them up on them against the Boilermakers either. So
right. Well, you have done a great job, and I'm thankful for what you have done in terms of chronicling the history of Michigan State and Illinois in particular, but also Big Ten teams over the years. Mike, where would you rank this Michigan team against all the Big Ten basketball teams you've seen? I guess the benchmark is always going to be those 75-76 teams of Knight that went 63-1.
Right. I would say it's got to be, I'd have to leaf through everything, but it's certainly in the top 10, if not the top 5. They've got a terrific team. Now they took a major blow, I think, with that injury last Sunday. So I don't think they're quite as strong as they were, but still You know now why Illinois is crying, having lost Morez Johnson. He was coming on at the end of last year, and when I saw that he was going to leave Champaign and go to Ann Arbor, there had to be some major dollar signs flashed before his eyes.
Oh yeah, no, there definitely were, but I don't know that he was happy with the way he was handled at Illinois, things that he was told.
His father wasn't
his father.
Happy. His father thought that Morez should have been starting.
Yeah.
And Morez did not start. at Illinois.
Yeah.
He was in within about 5 minutes in every game, but Dad had a lot to do with that decision.
Well, he probably made more in Ann Arbor than he would have in Champaign, right?
I would guess. Guess so.
Although no one is saying that Illinois has taken a vow of poverty. They've been known to pay some players too. But did you ever imagine
they're spending Euro dollars?
Yes, that's right. That's right.
On their players. Yeah.
Did you ever imagine we would have a situation where BYU now is going to be at $25 million, and Kentucky was at $22 million dollars for budgets?
No.
I mean, Michigan State, they're paying more money than Tom Izzo ever imagined he'd be paying players.
Oh, sure.
And they beat Kentucky with 1/4 the payroll.
Yeah. I'm honestly, aghast at what this has evolved into. It's just rather sickening to me to think that money has become such an almighty figure in what is happening today.
Yeah.
But whatever happened, once upon a time, kids used to come to school for an education.
What is that, Mike? What is that exactly?
Jack?
Yeah, I've heard that rumor. Yeah, and that's not quite fair because there are students on almost every basketball team that are student athletes. It's just not the way it used to be, and there are many who are not. So it's I guess it spans the spectrum. Let's talk about this Big Ten race and Michigan going 19-1. No team won 19 games or won 10 road games, but no team had gotten to play 20 games in the conference or 10 road games until very recently. But in terms of the balance of this league, do you think the Big Ten is the best league in the country, or is it the Big 12, or will we find out?
Well, I tell you what, the Big 12 certainly is making its case. They had, Kansas was standing. They had a heck of a year, and with especially their additional Big 12 teams. The Arizonas, et cetera, have come through with flying colors.
Yeah.
But I still think that the Big Ten, and I'm not giving up on Purdue at this juncture. I think they're awfully dangerous.
Yeah.
But Michigan, Illinois, Purdue, Michigan State, Nebraska, and I'd even throw Wisconsin in there.
Yeah.
And at the tail end, even Ohio State is coming on strong.
Yeah, Ohio State, UCLA.
I'd certainly pick the Big Ten in a slight favorite over the Big 12 at this point.
Yeah, we were just talking about how you would match those teams up. It would be interesting if they had an ACC Big Ten series with the Big 12, and maybe someone will think about that. If there's a dollar sign involved, I'm sure someone will. A question for you. You might get this. I posed it the other day, and we stumped a lot of people, but Rob, it's hard to stump Mike Pearson. There's one team.
Thanks for the pressure there.
Yes, that's right. One team over the last 6 seasons. So we know the NCAA tournament was canceled. COVID, it just came to a crashing halt. The Big Ten tournament in Indianapolis in 2020. But starting with 2020-21, the year that they played all the games in Indiana, NCAA tournament, on to the next 5 years. So the last 6 seasons, which a Division I basketball team has the best record in the country? It's not close.
Well, in the country.
Yep.
In the country. Okay. Well, I know Illinois over that period has more wins in the Big Ten.
Mm-hmm.
Let's think about this. Well, you got to give me a hint, I guess.
Okay, they have 14 more wins over number 2 Gonzaga and 23 more wins than number 3 Duke. That's a lot of wins.
That is a lot of wins. Well, Arizona? I don't know.
No, Arizona's 4th.
Okay.
I'll give you one more. Connecticut is 5th. So now you got 2, 3, 4, 5. Gonzaga, Duke, Arizona, and UConn. And UConn won 2 championships. I'll give you another hint. This team has not won a championship.
Wow. So they've been a bridesmaid,
yes,
but just not quite been there, huh?
but they've been great for 6 years. I'll give you another hint. You know the coach.
You're going to have to give me another clue. Because I would have said UConn.
All right, I'm going to give you the answer.
that.
How's that?
That's best.
Yeah, the answer is the University of Houston. And
Houston. Well, okay.
Kelvin Sampson, 186 wins and counting in 6 years.
Wow.
So,
and if I read correctly, aren't they in a massive budgetary stranglehead right now?
Yeah, they've got all these freshmen, and they got 4 freshmen who are terrific, and probably at least 2 of them are going to be in the NBA next year, including Kingston Flemings. But who knows if they're going to be able to keep their guys? I mean, at post-game press conferences, Kelvin Sampson is doing everything but saying, send $5 to the University of Houston Athletic Department.
Yeah.
So,
pretty
pretty incredible.
The NBA is going to grab several players out of the Big Ten this year. I can't see. I think Wagler is an automatic. And I'm not going to rule out Fears at this juncture. But the kid from the big kid from Washington,
Hannes Steinbach,
is a heck of a player.
He's gone. He's a lottery pick.
Yeah,
I think Wagler and Steinbach are lottery picks, and maybe Lendeborg too.
Possibly.
Yeah.
But when the answer to every question is money. That's not a good thing, in my opinion.
No. But that is the answer to everything, not just in college basketball, but in this nation right now. I mean, 98% of the decisions that are made. Okay, I said 99. I'm going to cut it back to 98%. Are based on something to do with money. What it does for you, for your brand. Maybe it's 2 steps away, but it always comes back to that. Maybe there's something in church that doesn't, but I am hard-pressed to find many things that do not have a financial motivation in this country today. I wanted to talk to you about... Go ahead. What were you going to say?
No, I was just going to say, and yet the NCAA is doing nothing about this.
They're going in the wrong direction. Now they said,
that's right.
Okay, because we can't adequately enforce poaching, so we're not going to do anything about poaching. Now you can just go and you can call anybody on anybody's team at any time and do whatever you want. That is so stupid. I was talking to a couple of coaches about this today. Just infuriated me. That's like saying that, you can't catch every speeder on the road, so we're going to take away all speed limits and turn every expressway into the Autobahn. It's ridiculous.
And you have to remember also, Jack, that the court system is going to rule in favor of the athlete in most situations.
Yes, almost every situation.
So it's a really difficult issue to solve.
Yeah, and that's one thing. I mean, I'm trying to find some validation or justification for the NCAA, and the only one that's been suggested to me is they know the situation's broken, and they don't have the tools to repair it. So they're going to say, well, let's really break it. Let's break it and start over. And maybe that involves government influence or something, but it's not moving in the right direction. Maybe it is for some athletes who are profiting off it, but it isn't for fans, schools, programs, the game, any of that. And, you're going to get the rich get richer. Maybe you've always had that to some degree.
And I always tried to avoid politics, but when you're asking the president to solve this issue, I have to chuckle a bit.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. All right. You had a couple of posts this week that caught my attention, and you're very good at this. But you were talking about Scott Skiles and flashing back. Mike, can you believe it's been 40 years since we watched Scott in Dayton with the famous wraparound pass against Georgetown, and then Michigan State going on and losing that incredible clock game to Kansas in Kemper Arena. But Scott Skiles was Basketball Times National Player of the Year and a first-team All-American. And I think he had the best single year, maybe not the best 4-year career, but the best single year of any Spartan player in '86.
I think you're right, because, he made, you'll remember this very clearly, when Scott Skiles went into an opponent arena.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody hated Scott Skiles,
oh, yeah.
which then took the pressure off all the other players.
Yeah.
And, the DJs and the Barry Fordhams and the others could take advantage and play a loose game.
Yeah.
But Scott thrived on that.
Yeah, he did.
And
he did.
So I would agree with you. Now I saw Mike Robinson carry those 70s teams on his shoulders.
Yes.
A lot.
Most underrated player in Michigan State history.
Yeah, I agree with that. But he didn't have the assists that Skiles did.
No.
Nor did he carry the storylines that Scott did.
Right.
But that 85-86 season was an unbelievable year because you started with Lorenzo White, finishing fourth in the Heisman. Then you go to Skiles and Mike Donnelly on the hockey rink. And, we were asked to come up with a single athlete of the year. There's no way you couldn't have a three-way tie.
Can't do it.
Because they all had tremendous years. But, Skiles was, if I'm going into a foxhole, I'm going with him.
Yeah.
That's the guy I choose.
Yeah. You mentioned Mike Donnelly still holds the NCAA record with 59 goals in the season. I don't know how he didn't win the Hobie Baker Award. I know it wasn't because Sports Information didn't do its job.
His publicity team wasn't doing the job. That's what it came down to.
And Lorenzo had just set the NCAA record for most yards carried, gained, rushing by a sophomore. And then Skiles, and you might remember the game at Minnesota, Mike, when he had 45, and we went back and we got the play-by-play. Of course, there was no three-point line that year, so you're just guessing at how long the distances were. But based on that, he had 63 points that night.
Yeah, I watched the film, and he at least had 60.
Yeah,
at least.
Yeah.
And if you remember, those Gopher fans gave him a standing ovation on his way off the court.
That's right.
It was the most amazing shooting performance I've ever seen.
I have to ask you a couple of other questions here quickly. We talk about Illinois, and a lot of Michigan State fans still remember when they had a jersey retirement and hung the banner upside down.
Wow.
But for Illinois now, are they the most dangerous team? Because I think they're my pick to win the Big Ten tournament.
Well, I think so, but here's what's happening a little bit. You'll notice that Wagler's performance has diminished a bit. I thought that at the beginning of the year and through the mid-year that Colin Boswell was the cinch player for Illinois. But since he came back after a 7-game absence, Wagler's performance has come down a little bit.
Yeah.
Now, they got big guys, but those big guys aren't inside big guys.
Yeah.
They're outside big guys. You see the Ivasic is, shooting those long-range threes instead of dunking the ball most of the time. The kid who's really come on is Merkovich, the 6'9" other freshman.
Exactly.
And he's been averaging a double-double these last 5 or 6 games. But I tell you what, Michigan came in and just handled them.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it was the former Illini who did the damage to them. Morez Johnson.
And I think the
awesome.
fact that Michigan blew Illinois out is why Illinois is going to win. And I also think that was such a poor shooting game for Illinois. They're ranked as the number 1 offense in the nation. That they're going to have a day. Hey, we saw what Wisconsin did to Michigan with bigs who can shoot. And if those shots go in, now, maybe it requires one of the Michigan bigs to get in foul trouble. That would certainly help, but I don't know if this is going to be the most important thing on Michigan's plate. I think it's going to matter more to Illinois in Chicago, and Illinois has had some good moments in the Big Ten tournament too. So
well, that upper bracket on tomorrow is a real treat. You got Ohio State and Michigan.
Yeah,
now that's one I'd like to see.
Yeah.
That one, and then you got Wisconsin and Illinois. Of course, Wisconsin beat Illinois in Champaign in overtime.
That's
so
right. That's right.
Those are two terrific games, and now then you got Purdue, probably Purdue, Nebraska.
Yeah.
Nebraska, Michigan State is what I meant to say, but
well, that would be in the
semifinal. Give up on Purdue either.
Yeah. You'd have Michigan State, UCLA probably. And Purdue, Nebraska in the quarterfinals.
Right.
And one other question for you, Mike, and I ask you because you've dealt with him, you know what he's like, and for a lot of people, it's still a question. Maybe they like what they've seen, but they're not sure. What do you think Pat Fitzgerald can do at Michigan State?
I think that was one of the more intelligent hires that I've seen at Michigan State in a long, long time. Other than the Antonio hire, I think this is going to pay big dividends. Perhaps not in 2026, but I think from there on out, I think that he's going to attract those kinds of players that have made Michigan State football the exceptional program at times. And I just think that he is I love Pat Fitzgerald as a person.
Yeah.
And how he got into that mess at Northwestern is really beyond me.
Yeah.
But I think the future is very, very bright under Pat Fitzgerald.
Mike Pearson. And Mike, you want to tell people where they can get your stuff and the website and all that information if they want to follow?
Okay, well, I'm posting every day now on Spartafax MSU, at Spartafax MSU.
At Spartafax
that also
MSU.
Is on.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the Twitter, or X as they call it now.
Yeah.
I'm also on Facebook. If there are Facebook people out there, at Sports Legends List Lore, or on LinkedIn even. I've got those same feeds appear. And then my website is sportsll.com, and that's got all sorts of historical stuff, and I'm pumping new material into it on a weekly basis. So I appreciate your opportunity for me to plug those things.
You've got one today, and here's Michigan State, the 1 seed, already in the advance to the semifinals of the Big Ten hockey tournament. And you got a great post about Tom Ross. And when I was really starting to follow Michigan State hockey back in the 70s, early 70s with Zippy Thompson and those guys, but then Tom Ross and Steve Culp, and that was still the best offense I've seen in college hockey. So,
oh gosh, it really was.
Yeah, Mike, thanks so much. Really appreciate it. We will be right back. And we're going to talk with Ray Mitchell, head coach of the East Lansing Trojans, going for back-to-back state championships, semifinals tomorrow, and championship games on Saturday. We'll be right back.
Jack Ebling here with my good friend Matt Sloan at Graph of Okemos. Some great product here in early 2026.
You got it, Jack. Here at Chevy, we have, backed by popular demand, the all-new Bolt. Redesigned and back in full force for us. People are really excited about that vehicle. It did great for us in the past.
Great.
And then next door, the Nissan Sentra, completely redesigned for that model. Great fuel economy. It's going to be a hot seller for us.
Stop and see Matt and the gang at Graph of Okemos. They're making friends.
Dean Transportation is looking for compassionate people to join our team of school bus drivers and attendants. Visit deanjobs.com to see all openings. Dean Transportation provides paid training to obtain a commercial driver's license, increased starting pay, comprehensive benefits, and flexible schedules with no weekend shifts. No experience needed. Apply today at deanjobs.com and train for back to school season. That's DEAN jobs.com.
Hey, Jack, you love a good gift card.
Yes, Jeremy, I do.
One North makes it even better. Reload your One North gift card now through January for 15% off and keep those good meals coming. Lunch, dinner, happy hour, covered. Reload it, use it, repeat. One North Kitchen and Bar.
Where gift cards keep giving.
So, it's been a while since you've had your jewelry cleaned and inspected, right? Where will you go and who will you trust with your most valuable and treasured heirlooms? At Meadowar Jewelers' 4 locations in Lansing, Okemos, Jackson, and Portage, jewelry isn't just our job, it's our passion. Each and every piece entrusted in our care is thoroughly inspected by our trained staff against damage or normal wear. And we offer you, our customer, the highest level of quality on repairs and custom designs. Whether it's worn out prongs, channels, or shanks, it's all handled with incredible care. Meadowar Jewelers in Lansing, Okemos, Jackson, and Portage want to help you preserve your memories and offer you options on creating new ones. Come in today for the cleaning and inspection of your jewelry. We continue to work hard every day to earn your confidence and trust.
Jack Ebling here with my good friend Matt Sloan at Graf of Okemos. Great time to get a great vehicle.
Fantastic time, Jack. 0% financing is back. Hard to believe this time right now we can get a vehicle with 0 interest.
Wow.
And if you're looking to pay cash, how about rebates up to $10,000? That's unheard of lately, right? $10,000 off on a vehicle. How about leasing? You want to lease? You can lease a vehicle right now in the low 3s. Come on out and take a look.
We're talking everyone's language. Stop and see Matt and the gang. They're making friends.
Welcome back. It is Drive with Jack, Spotlight Radio Network. Oh, Rob, I love when you do this. How about a little Steely Dan and Do It Again? Right? Am I right?
You're right. You are absolutely correct.
Well,
I think you know where I'm going with this.
I do. Excellent job on the rejoin. And the guy who's going to do it again, I think, okay, game hadn't been played yet, so nothing is in the books, but really like this East Lansing basketball team's chances to do it again with another state championship. Want to welcome in Coach Ray Mitchell. Ray, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good. How you doing?
Good. I know that when you ask coaches to pick between teams, it's like asking parents to pick one kid over another. But can you tell us how this year's Trojans team is different than last year's?
Well, this year's team is, you know what? We lost 8 seniors last year.
Yeah. So
it's a new group. And I believe it took us a little time to gel because we had a very experienced group. We had 5 players who were on the varsity since they were sophomores. So we it wasn't a total rebuild because obviously we had Kingston and we have KJ and DeQuarius started a few games the previous season, but all the other guys were new. So it's a new team. I mean, that's just basically what it is. It's a new team that we had to mold. We kind of had the blueprint, but the new guys who were going to play more had to kind of like step it up and figure things out on the fly and learn how to play at a high level.
So how important was it to have KJ Torbert back the way he finished last season and the confidence he's played with and the other guys who were there to see how you win a championship?
Well, of course, that was a key to our success of this season. Anytime you have Mr. Basketball on your side, then that's going to make it a lot easier for everyone else to kind of like fall in line and fit into their role. And it was a tremendous help. But the thing about it is the other guys, like you said, kind of watched him, but also they put in work as well. And they also saw what the guys ahead of them were doing and know the shoes that they had to fill. And, you know, slowly but surely everybody just improved from the summertime to the preseason, from the beginning of the season to the middle season to right now. So, but it's always great to have the best player on your team. And trust me.
When you talk about Mr. Basketballs, being the top player in the state. We were blessed. We've been blessed to have a lot of them here, including the first two with Sam Vincent and Robert Henderson, back-to-back years from the same school, Lansing Eastern. But to have had the Torberts, the father-son combination, Kelvin and Kelvin Jr., 25 years apart. That's quarter-century symmetry. What does that say about them, about the genetics involved, and maybe the apple doesn't fall that far from the tree, even though they don't look the same?
Well, you know what? In athletics, genetics it plays a key role.
Yeah.
So to be the first father-son Mr. Basketball, what a great accomplishment for their family. It's incredible, unbelievable, and the beauty of it, they'll always be the first. So I love it. I love that he fell into our laps, and man, they're great people. You know, like they really deserve it. Obviously, senior when he played, he was the number one player coming out.
Yes,
and he kind of instilled that work ethic in his son. Man.
Yes.
And his son always was motivated to try to top Pop. So I think that definitely played a role into his success with us. So it's a great thing to have him, like I said, rolling with us.
Ray, would you have been shocked? Would you have been pissed if KJ was not named Mr. Basketball?
You know what? We always talk about control, what you can control.
Yeah, exactly.
I wouldn't have been shocked, you know, because if he wouldn't have run it, to me, that meant he didn't deserve it because we try to do everything we possibly could to promote him. We play in a lot of showcase games. We go across the state, and I'm not sure, I mean, other teams do it, but I know we're going to play 6 to 8 games against the best competition on, foreign territory.
Right.
And we do that so the voters can see our guy. And, fortunate for us, when we played in those games, he did what he does. Like, so people had the opportunity to see him and see his talents, and he was the Mr. Basketball. So I wouldn't have been mad because all those other candidates, they're good as well. I mean, look at their stats. Their stats are all kind of equal and even, but at the end of the day, you have to win, too. So, I think by us winning the previous year kind of helped and put his name out there. And then when people laid eyes on him, they weren't disappointed. They were impressed. And, it kind of carried over. So
you've done a terrific job of blending these teams, these players. And you mentioned having the 8 seniors, so it wasn't just run it back kind of deal. But how big of an advantage is it for you to be here when Andre Hudson and Kelvin Torbert and David Thomas had kids?
Oh, man, you know what? I'm blessed. Obviously you have to have players. And so luckily for me, I won the jackpot, right? I had all of the ex-MSU players. We talk about genetics. We had all of the ex-MSU sons. And, hey, I'm not going to complain about that. Some people say I'm not doing any coaching. I just got talent. But you know what we do? We just work hard and let the chips fall where they may. And, hey, got talent or not, we still try to put them in the best situation possible. And we live with the results. And you know what? I'm not going to complain about it. But I'm going to try to make sure I don't mess it up as well, right?
There you go.
So, hey, other people have had very talented teams and not one. So I look at it that way, too. So we just want to make sure we just give these kids the best opportunity to perform and be successful. And, lucky for us, last year we won it all. And this year we're in the same position. So,
Ray, last year, Orchard Lake St. Mary and Trey McKinney, I think he has surprised me the way he has played this year. Did you see that coming?
No. I mean, yes. No, yes. Okay. It's funny. So I'm sitting here right now with Coach Carlton Valentine.
Yeah.
That's my mentor. He came in for the weekend. So he was telling me how he was looking at some old pictures because we have another kid. His name is Trevor Smith, obviously the kid from Okemos. He plays at Brother Rice. Yeah. And I guess he was talking with Trevor's mother last night, and Trevor sent him his mother, Erin, sent Carlton a picture of one of my AAU teams. They were called DV45. We were named after Denzel Valentine.
Yeah.
team. So to make a long story short, Trey was on my team back when they were in the fifth grade, sixth grade. And so he was great then.
Yeah.
So when he did, I'm real cool with Trey. People don't know this. Trey was trying to come to East Lansing. That's what his dad was telling me. But to make a long story short, I've known Trey pretty much since fifth grade.
That would have been unfair.
It would have been, but hey, to me, their lineup was unfair down there in Orchard Lake.
Yeah,
but anyway,
right.
Well, make a long story short, Trey has been great from ever since he was a little kid. So even then he outworked all the kids. So I'm not surprised on anything that he ever does.
Yeah.
He's a great player. He's going to be a pro.
Yeah.
And I knew he was going to hit the ground running at Michigan, no doubt in my mind. And even if he stays, he's going to be the star there next year.
Yeah.
And he's going to have a great impact on them, going far in the tournament this year. So, I'm not surprised with that.
All right. Let's talk a little bit about your other players. It's not a one-man team by any stretch of the imagination. You want to talk about your other starters and the guys who have gotten you where you are?
Of course. So we have Kingston Thomas, 6'5" junior. Obviously, you already said it, the son of David Thomas, ex-MSU basketball player. Kingston has an MSU offer. Kingston has been tremendous for us all season long. I mean, the kid does everything. He can guard the 1 through 5. He can play the 1 through 5. He's really like our main, I wouldn't say glue guy because he's really a star. He's like one of the top juniors in the state. And it's crazy. He had an injury mid-season, and he's been playing much better since he took a little time off and came back.
Okay.
I mean, stat-wise, he was always playing great all year.
Yeah.
But his stats have went up since he came back, and he's been playing at a big-time level, and we wouldn't be here without his efforts.
Okay.
Then we have DeQuarius Stewart. That's another 3-year varsity basketball player.
Right.
He's a senior, 6'6" senior. This guy, man, is so athletic, really jumps off the gym. He really took the time this last year just to work on his overall game, and he kind of holds down the middle for us. And he's had a lot of good breakout games. He was sick last game and, man, throwing up at halftime, but he fought through it and finished the game. So we expect him to play really, really tough this next game for us.
Is he a college player, Ray, at some point?
Oh, yeah, he's definitely a college player. He's one of those guys, he has some D2 offers and some lower-level offers, but he's one of those guys, once he gets to college, he's going to, really bloom and, he'll end up, I definitely believe he has Division I talent.
Yeah.
And he's just a sleeper. He's just a sleeper. I always kind of played inside. Now he's working on his guard skills. He really shot a great percentage from the three-point line for us this year.
Right.
He just had a small sample size. He didn't shoot a lot of threes, but he shot over 40% from the three from us. He's putting the ball on the ground. I mean, he took a guy from the three-point line a couple games ago and got a dunk. So he's really developing, but he's one of those guys, once a college coach, once a program gets him, they're going to love him, and he'll unfortunately in this day and age, he'll be one of those guys, he'll play a couple years and probably move up a level or two.
Yeah. And your other starters?
Yeah, so my next guy is my floor general. His name is Kellen Lott. Man, I really love this kid. He has a football background. He was a starting wide receiver, starting defensive back, and he brings that football toughness to the table. You know how Izzo those football guys, Coach Mitchell does too, man. I love guys who play multiple sports.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just another level of, willingness and understanding on just working a little harder than the average kid who don't play multiple sports. But this kid, man, he's very unselfish. He's very coachable. He does everything we ask him to do. But he's a playmaker as well. I've been asking him lately to shoot more because he's shooting over 40% from the three-point line.
Good.
And he can score the ball, but he doesn't care about that. He's going to get all the loose balls.
Right.
He'll tie you up. He'll get rebounds. He kind of does it all.
Okay.
So I really love what he brings to the table. He's been solid for us all year. And my last starter is a sophomore. His name is Tyree Anthony. Tyree is another football guy.
Yeah. Andrell's brother?
Andrell's little brother. Yep. Yeah. Andrell's baby brother. He's finally coming into his own health-wise because he plays football as well, and he got injured, I think, a little bit past halfway through football season. I think he missed the last 3 or 4 games, and he had to have surgery, so he wasn't with us the first month of the season, and he couldn't even play. He couldn't physically even get out there until, mid-December. But once he was healthy, he kind of hit the ground running. But he didn't have his athleticism over the summer.
Yeah.
I mean, he was dunking out. I mean, he was getting a lot of, slam dunks, but he couldn't slam dunk like for a month or two until he, a month or two until him coming back. So he finally, I think he got 2 dunks in the last game. So I can see he's starting to feel physically close to 100. So I'm happy for that. But he can really check. He can defend. He's a big guard, and he can shoot the ball. He shoots 40% from the three-point line as well. So we have a lot of weapons around KJ that can really shoot the ball. So we have a very strong team with a good supporting cast.
Ray, were you a little surprised that KJ didn't get more high-profile offers? I certainly thought he deserved them. And there have been MAC guys before. We think about David Kuhl, who was Mr. Basketball, and he went on and he had a terrific career at Western Michigan. And it's happened before. But do you think some people were a little slow to the dance on realizing who KJ was?
Well, I just believe nowadays in the NIL era that college coaches are looking at measurables.
Yeah.
And unfortunately from KJ, he's 6'2". I believe if he was 6'4", well, every college in the country will recruit him. But right now, what college coaches are telling me, instead of recruiting a 6'2" two-guard, they'd rather get a transfer. So he kind of fit into, the new transfer rules. Kind of hurt him. But, to me, he can play. He reminds me a lot of Jace Richardson. Obviously, Jace was left-handed, but he's right-handed. So KJ can play at that level. He's a player. He's a baller. Now, if anyone would have took a chance on him, they would have realized that. But you know what? He's going to be fine at Bowling Green. And the whole thing about sports is once you get out there on the court, it's the great equalizer, and all you got to do is play your game. I played in the MAC back in the day, and I played against Antonio Daniels. He played in the MAC. He made it to the NBA.
There you go.
So it's possible. I had to guard that guy. He was bigger. He was a 6'4" point guard. But to make a long story short, you can make it from anywhere. So I truly believe in this guy. I know he's going to make it. I know he's going to max out wherever he goes, and everything happens for a reason. And he's not complaining about it. He's not pouting. He's going to go there. He's going to hoop. He's going to ball, and let the chips fall where they may.
Yeah. Can you give us a preview of tomorrow and Saturday? The 3 teams besides East Lansing that are still alive in this. What are the matchups?
All right, well, we'll start with the other side.
Okay.
So we play Avondale in the summertime. They have a really great athletic basketball team. And actually, I know a lot of their parents of their players, a lot of their coaches, because I'm from Pontiac, which is right down the street. So my family keeps reminding me about, their success, so I've been following them all year, man. They're a very athletic team.
Okay.
They have a lot of different interchangeable pieces. They play fast, they play hard, they play tough. They're going to do you up. They have a lot of athleticism.
Right.
I can't wait to see them in Rockford tip off.
Okay.
Rockford, they have so many pieces as well. Like the big fella going to Central he's a problem in the middle. We played against those guys in the regular season, and he tore us apart.
Yeah.
His little brother's pretty tough, the Bathroom brothers. He's really good, but then he's surrounded by shooters as well. The point guard runs the show. I mean, it's going to be a great matchup, on that other end, and I can't predict who's going to win that game.
Right.
But then you have us and Brother Rice. Obviously, we played them before, but I told our kids they're much more improved. The first half was really tough. We kind of stretched out in the second half, but we can't rest on that. We got to make sure we come out and really be ready to contain their stars. They got a couple of really good players. They had a Mr. Basketball candidate, Greg. He's just a lights-out shooter. We got to make sure we don't let him get going. And then the freshman, Jordan, he really took it to us last game, so we got to figure out a way to try to slow him down. We know those guys are going to make shots, but we just want to make sure we're contesting everything. And then their surrounding cast is good. I already mentioned Trevor, but Trevor is like the anchor in the middle. He just does all the little things that you would want from your big guy to do. He's going to defend. He's going to block shots. He's going to finish strong at the basket. He has a high basketball IQ. He's going to set good screens. He's going to do all the little things that it takes to get you to this point. So, excuse me, we feel it's going to be a battle.
It's going to be fun to watch, and I think we're going to be watching East Lansing play a couple more times, including a state championship game on Saturday. One more thing for you, Ray. I know we have Deshaun Tate here waiting for us, but you still have V with you?
Yes, I do. V. Coach V. Yes, sir. He's right here. He's down the hallway.
Okay, so one team you will not play this year
Yeah.
is one you know a lot about.
I don't even know that.
And that is the Sexton State Champions, back-to-back state champions from, 14 years ago. If your team now played your team then, a team that you certainly knew an awful lot about and helping them, what kind of game would that be?
Well, you know what, man? Coach Valentine has kind of like been my mentor from day one. Yeah. And to be honest with you, the stuff that we're running here is a lot of stuff that we did at Sexton. I kind of learned. Yeah. He gave me the template to how to be successful at the high school level. So I can't take away anything from those teams, man. Those teams were great. And this is how I always say things. Like they had two guys make it to the NBA. Yeah. They had multiple professionals. Yeah. And, until our guys reach that level, I mean, they're the kings right now. So, we're trying to aspire to get to that level, and they won back-to-back. We haven't done anything yet. We're not on that level. Yeah. And, obviously, I look at it as a mirroring program, though. Yeah. Because, once again, I was a part of that. And I learned from that. And I got that formula here. So, even though it's two different schools, we're all still one family. I still always root for Sexton. My kids, as I coach the Sexton, they come and support me at East Lansing. So it's one big family.
I don't know how many coaches, if any, Ray, can say that they might be back-to-back state champion at two different schools. We have to research that one. But say hi to V for me. I'm going to give him a call later. I got something for him, too. So.
All right, cool.
All right.
Cool, I will.
Thanks so much, Ray. Hey, good luck to you this weekend. I wish I could be there, but I'll be in Chicago.
Yep, cool.
All right. Ray Mitchell, head coach of the East Lansing Trojans. We're going to stay right here, waiting very patiently. I don't know how patient he is. I guess having the daughter.
Well, you're testing it.
Breslin. I'm testing him. But this time of year, he's ready to come out of the starting gate. I know that because nobody loves NCAA tournament basketball more than Deshaun Tate, our Lansing-bred, Atlanta-based basketball savant. Tate's Take Hoops, where basketball lives. Deshaun, how much are you following all of these conference tournaments? Seems like you can't turn to any station and not see something. And what do you make of what you're seeing in the Big Ten tournament here?
Yeah, Jack, thanks so much for having me on. So much to a point where there were so many games on today while I'm in my office trying to keep planes in the air.
Yeah.
That the split screen of 4 games going on one TV at one time was not enough, so I had to plug up another TV. So now it's just getting extremely hot. I'm like, man, is the heat on? What's going on here? No, it's because I've got 2 monitors trying to keep planes in the air. Meanwhile, 2 more TVs with, a combination of about 6 games all going on at one time. It's the best time of the year, Jack, and you know this, you know me. It's, my body and my appetite and everything else goes through a really tough time during this time of the year. It probably means too much to me. But my mom will tell you, Mom keeps it very simple. She says, I don't want to bother you. Listen, I just want you to eat and make sure you're taking your vitamins and drinking water. That's it. Nobody else bother them. Don't call them. You guys want to put things together and get together and have a get-together as a family. It's going to have to be either before March or after April. So it's a great time right now, Jack. I'm really, really excited. Shocker.
Okay, you have to explain one thing to me. I've watched a fair amount of basketball over 74 years, but I have never seen anything quite like what we saw the other night with Bam Adebayo against the Washington Wizards. Now, here's a guy who was averaging less than 20 points a game. He's only averaged 20 once in his NBA career. That was 20.4. And even with this 83-point explosion, he's at 20 even now. He set the NBA record for most free throws in a game and broke it by 8. It's like Bob Beamon breaking the long jump record by 21 inches. To have 36 made free throws and to have shot the ball 86 times total in that game. If you had told me someone was going to do that, I'd have gotten pretty deep on the list before I came to Bam Adebayo.
You and me both, Jack. You and me both. And first of all, give him credit for being a true, legit front court player that can sink that many free throws. Forget about just the attempts, because I know people have reservations about that. But able to hit free throws like that, I know guards that can't hit free throws like that.
Yeah.
But besides that, no, it was an incredible performance by him, obviously. And I know that people have been poo-pooing on him just a little bit because of this, and maybe looking down upon the NBA and talking about, searching for calls and whatever else, what have you. I'm sometimes curious to know how many, if you're in a gym by yourself, no layups, only jump shots, and I'm not talking about jump shots from layup range. I'm talking about true jump shots.
Yeah.
Even if you counted the free throws as twos and you're out there on an island by yourself, nobody in the gym, how long it'll take you to get to 83? And I get it, they're professionals and whatever else, they're supposed to be able to do certain things. But I think just forget about just the efficiency and everything else. The running up and down the court alone for me. Yeah. See, I think it's the other parts, Jack, that people don't take into consideration. Yes, they're playing against the Washington Wizards, but it is another professional basketball team, for crying out loud, no matter how bad they are.
Right.
But then you also have to take into consideration your wind and running up and down the floor and being targeted by every guy on the floor and all these different things. I think that I don't love some of the things that I heard from comparisons to Kobe Bryant and all that. Let him live in his own space the way he's living in his own space in terms of the record books and everything else. But I think that I think it was impressive because of the type of basketball player. Yeah. He's not known to be this jump shooter, a guy that can convert on 7 3-pointers in a game, no matter if he took 22 or not.
Right.
I think it's impressive, and congrats to Bam Adebayo on his moment.
Well, we know that's a 4-quarter game too. This isn't like an overtime. This is like a regulation 4-quarter game he did this in, and I believe Kobe did that too, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, when I first looked at it, I'm like, man, did they go looking at the score? Number one,
150 points.
Yeah, I was like, man, this had to be an overtime, double overtime game, but no, 4 quarters. So
we know Wilt had 100, and Kobe was second with 81. Kobe is now third on this list. But Deshaun, there are 11 players in NBA history who have scored 70 or more. 10 of the 11 did it once. Wilt did it 6 times. But of the 10, none of them doubled their career high. And that's what Bam Adebayo did. He'd never scored more than 41 in a game. And basically hadn't scored more than 35 often. So to go up and get 83 in one game, of course, they're playing the Wizards. So that had to help. But, hey, when Wilt scored his 100, he was playing the last-place Knicks. So, and their backup center was 6'5". So lots of things enter into a game like that. But congratulations to him. And I don't know if I like it or not. On one hand, it seems like it's kind of a bastardization of basketball to do that. But, it's not like the other guys weren't scoring. He did have more than half his team's points, but the other guys on the team had 67 points, and we've seen a lot of games where if you take the leading scorer off a team, the rest of the players don't have 67. So.
Yeah, I just think, Jack, mom isn't giving birth every day to people who can go out there and go for 83 with or without help. By the way, like I said, put yourself in that position in the gym all by yourself and tell me how long it takes, let alone the greatest level of the game. But I know that people have their reservations about it, and I don't think I've put enough thought into having any my own self, although I'm sure if you try to dictate, we just live in a world now where there's just everything's going to be questioned and all these other things. I don't love that part, but I also realize that that's the world that I'm living in.
Right.
But you know what? And I didn't know that about, the New York Knicks and Wilt Chamberlain and doing it and all that. But I think some of this is because it's Bam Adebayo. When Luka did it, I think he had 73 against the Hawks. I feel like that was a game I was working. I think Donovan Mitchell did it within the last couple of years. He had 70. We're not questioning a whole lot about those guys. So, hell, I don't know anybody that's going to stand out there and check Big Bam Adebayo with big, broad Dwight Howard shoulders either, for crying out loud. So, give him the credit for what he did, because nobody else went out there and did it since Kobe. So, there's got to be some kind of credit that you have to give skill set and just being on fire, because it felt like he couldn't miss a shot on purpose.
And they're playing Milwaukee tonight, so we'll see what he does for...
How many do you think he'll get tonight,
That's
Sean?
the question, right?
Tonight, I feel comfortable saying, based off of the other night, I feel comfortable saying a minimum of 30.
Okay. All right. That'd be an interesting Vegas over-under on the point total for Bam. Maybe his arm is tired. I don't know. You think about all of that, but 36 made free throws in a game. I was thinking about this, Deshaun. If the average NBA player plays 3.5 games a week, the way the schedule is now, some weeks you play 3 times, some weeks you play 4 times, right? It's almost every other week you play 3 or 4. So 3.5 games, let's say, in a week. How many NBA players this year have scored 36 free throws, made 36 free throws, in an entire week?
Wow. Yeah.
I can't think of any. I went back, I looked at James Harden. He hadn't done it. And he shoots free throws, like other people shoot.
Well, what about Shea? We got a Shea narrative now all of a sudden about being a free throw merchant. What about Shea?
Yeah. I didn't look at his numbers, but, to get 36... If you play 3 times, that means you're shooting 12 free throws on average a game. Maybe he could do it. Maybe Jokic could do it, but there aren't many who play that kind of a game where they could even get fouled that often.
Right,
so,
get fouled that much, correct.
Yeah. All right. What's wrong with the Detroit Pistons? Now they came back and they got a blowout win over the Nets, but to lose 4 in a row, I wasn't expecting that. And they still have the best record in the East and the second best record in basketball. But what did you learn about them blowing a 23-point lead to Brooklyn and then losing 3 more?
Yeah, I think there were some times where we've seen some obviously some struggles to defend, which we don't usually have those kind of conversations about the Detroit Pistons. Sometimes even on the offensive side of the ball, or a combination of both between all of those things. I can't say I've watched every single Pistons loss, but from what I saw, of the ones that I saw, that's the vibe and the energy that it gave. I will say as much, too, that this isn't unusual. I know it feels unusual, but I think what we've seen is the Detroit Pistons position themselves to where they could afford, much like we've been saying week by week by week, is that they've created some cushion for when they eventually go through these stretches, because I can't name a team that didn't go through some stretch. I mean, granted, probably to the same team being the San Antonio Spurs, it feels like, but I feel like Oklahoma City, maybe not 4 straight, but they went through a little stretch where they just didn't, they appeared to be human again. And I think that it was just the Detroit Pistons' turn to kind of go through that. But no question, there's no question in my mind. I think that they'll, figure it out and put it all back together and get back to playing bad boys basketball.
All right, let's close with a basketball lightning round for you, okay? Quick questions, quick answers. The rightful Big Ten recipient as Coach of the Year is?
Dusty May.
Okay. I won't tell Fred Hoiberg when I see him tomorrow that you said that. The Big Ten Player of the Year is, and you can break this up if you want, to the best player and the most valuable player.
Yaxel Lindenborg.
Okay. I think Yaxel is the best player this season, but you could take him off Michigan and still be very, very good. The most valuable player is Jeremy Fierce Jr.
Correct.
The winner of the Big Ten tournament is?
Oof. Oh, that's a good one. I'm going to go with. I'm going to go with. I'm going to go with Illinois.
How about that? Smart man. I always said Deshaun Tate knows basketball.
Pick.
Yeah, I said that a little earlier. That's good. All right.
Not a lot of people would agree with you, by the way, on that.
Yeah. That's good. All right. The number one pick in the NBA draft is going to be?
AJ DeBanza.
Okay. I like that one too. The 4 number 1 seeds Sunday night will be?
I'm going to go with Arizona, Duke, Michigan, and I think UConn's going to find a way to get back.
UConn. Okay. All right. I like Florida for that 4th one. Duke does or does not win the national championship after these 2 starters lost with injury?
If they're still injured?
Yep.
No.
Does not. Arizona, with this young freshman class, wins the NCAA championship. You buying that?
No.
Michigan, minus LJ Kayson, wins the NCAA championship. No. Okay.
Little pause there.
That's okay.
Jack.
All right. So who is your team? Who are we going to look at and say, damn, Deshaun told me they were going to win it. I should have put a bet down. Who's it going to be?
I'm going to go with the Houston Cougars.
Oh.
Still riding the Cougars.
Very good.
Still riding the Cougars.
Very good.
Michigan would be my second choice.
Okay. I'm all in on Houston, and not just because I've known Kelvin Sampson for nearly 50 years, and not just because, in the last 6 seasons, we just talked about this, Deshaun, Houston has 14 more wins than any other team in college basketball and 23 more wins than Duke. They have 186 victories. They're number 1 on the list by a lot. And last year, they lost the national championship game by 2 points to Florida, right?
Right.
So he's been all around it. It's time he wins it.
I'll say this last thing real quick, Jack, is that the concerning thing for me a little bit with Houston is not only did they have back-to-back games in February for the first time in the history since joining the Big 12, which has been quite a few years now, but they had back-to-back-to-back losses, and it's not usual for a team to lose 3 games in a row that late in February and win a national championship. And this is the last thing that I'll say, by the way, Jack, is that when referencing the Coach of the Year or ACC Coach of the Year, I know there were some conversations. Jai Lucas, very much in that same conversation, doesn't have the same talent that Duke has, and was predicted or projected to finish very close to last in the ACC with a lot of changes.
Right.
They're 3rd in the ACC and on their way now to playing in another game tomorrow after a big-time win today. 7 losses only. Not the same resources that Duke have. Does that mean that is it about the most improved or biggest turnaround of a season that should get Coach of the Year, or is it about the obvious that Duke has been able to do, which they've done a fine job? I think sometimes the criteria is not very clear.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I would also agree that for Player of the Year criteria, it's not necessarily clear. It's whatever you want it to be. Last question, Deshaun. When am I going to see you again? Where on the tournament trail?
Hopefully anywhere Michigan State is playing.
Okay.
More fingers crossed that that's Tampa or San Diego sometime next week or something like that. But we will see. Hey, guess what, Jack? 7 days away. Who's counting? 7 days away from games coming on at noon again, and games going off after midnight. What a time to be alive.
You're not counting the 2 nights in Dayton, right?
We can count them. Let's count them. Let's count all of them.
We're 5 nights away. Yeah, that's beautiful. Deshaun Tate, our Lansing-bred, Atlanta-based basketball savant. Hey, I will see you very soon on the tournament trail.
Yeah. I can't wait. Thanks, Jack.
I want to thank all of our guests, Rob.
Got to say real quick.
Yeah.
So I called him during the break to get him on.
Yeah.
And like normal, I asked him, how you doing? And he's like, now, Rob, that is probably I got the stupid question.
Yeah.
I got the Cronin response.
That's
right.
That's right.
That might be the stupidest question you've ever asked me.
That's right.
And I had to think about it, and I'm like, oh, yeah.
You feel like Matt Wenzel? I want to thank all of our guests today. Really appreciate all of them joining us, including Tony Garcia from the Detroit Free Press. And by now, he should have arrived in Chicago. Michigan plays the first game tomorrow in the quarterfinals at noon. Michigan State, the last game at about 9 o'clock Eastern. Be there for all 4 games, doing the show from United Center. Jay Green and I are leaving at 6:30 in the morning. So unless we wind up in a ditch, then I think the chances are very good that we will see both of those teams play. And Tom Crawford and I will be doing reports and podcasts, and Crawford will be joining us too tomorrow on the show. Appreciate Tony talking about Michigan and its incredible regular season run, now getting ready for what really matters to most people. Sorry we could not get Mark Montgomery with us, but we will rebook him. I know he's being dragged in a million directions, and he said, yeah, I can do 4:30. I can do 4:30. Yeah, you think you can, sometimes you can't, but Monty will be with us again soon. Congratulations to him on Detroit Mercy, an incredible year 2, going from 1 win to 8 wins to a winning season, nearly making the NCAA tournament. Appreciate Mike Pearson, historian, talking about the Big Ten and Michigan State. Ray Mitchell from East Lansing High School getting ready for back-to-back state championships. And Deshaun Tate, have a great weekend, everyone. Talk to you tomorrow.